By having a camera always on, it can always be searching for your face. That way, when you're not in front of your smartphone, it locks.
Or I could just press a button and it locks. Welcome to All Things Secure. My name's Josh, and we're all at this point kind of used to having Siri, Alexa, Google Home, and all of these audio listening devices constantly listening for commands, and in most cases even recording whatever we have to say. But now we're being introduced to what's known as an always-on camera. What you saw at the beginning here, and what I'm going to share with you a few clips, is from a summit, a tech summit put on by Qualcomm, which is a chip maker that makes a lot of the chips that go into some of the cell phones that we have. And they've developed the technology to enable always-on cameras that will constantly be searching for our faces. I mean, as it is right now, if I want to turn my phone on, I have to either lift it up or I have to tap it, and then it will start looking for my Face ID and unlock the phone based on that. But Qualcomm's saying that they're creating a phone, or at least a phone chip, that will be able to always be searching for our face. So what are the advantages of this?
The always-on camera gives one very basic advantage. Your phone's front camera is always securely looking for your face, even if you don't touch it or raise to wake it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I can see a little bit those advantages. So now it's always going to be searching for my face. Whenever it sees me, it will unlock. Any time that it's taken out of my presence, it will lock up immediately. It's always just looking for my face. I get that in a way. I mean, we are always, as humans, drawn to even greater convenience. That's the reason why these always listening devices have become so popular in all of our homes. We love the convenience of having Alexa or Siri, but an always-on camera just seems like it takes it one step too far. All right, so let's think about the risks of having an always-on computer. Like, what about privacy? Well, I mean, at least according to Qualcomm, thankfully.
And you don't have to worry about privacy. The always-on camera data never leaves the secure sensing hub while it's looking for faces.
Okay, so it never leaves the chip. This is very much similar to the biometric data that we give to our cell phones right now. So for example, Apple, this phone has my fingerprint, it has my Face ID, but at least according to Apple, all of that information is stored on the phone itself. It is never stored on Apple's servers. In the same way, Qualcomm's saying that none of this information, none of the always-on camera information will leave the chip itself. The chip is merely acting as a searching device. It's always looking for your face so that it can activate the phone immediately once you start looking at it, or immediately once it's in front of your face. And again, we're talking about convenience, but at the expense of your privacy. So what does this mean right now? Well, right now there aren't any phones that use this Snapdragon chip, so this isn't something that is currently present in our phones. This is something that will happen maybe in another year or 2 years. What Qualcomm is saying is we have given you the ability to do this, and now it's up to the phone manufacturers to actually implement this always-on design and this always-on feature. So will they do it? Well, that's up to the different phone manufacturers. But right now, you need to start thinking about, am I comfortable with this? Am I comfortable with an always-on phone? Because it's not going to be too long before you're presented with a phone that has the always-on feature. And just like a lot of these other features we have that give you the ability to turn it off in the settings, that doesn't always mean that it's turned off. Take this for example. If I turn off my phone, it still has a GPS tracker that will track where the phone is. That's a security feature, so that if someone steals your phone and tries to turn it off, it can still be tracked. But you're talking about the fact that I thought I turned my phone off, and it is still generating a GPS signal. That's why a lot of the privacy phones that are sold have a physical switch that disconnects the camera, or it disconnects the microphone, so that you know when you turn those off, they cannot hear anything, they cannot record any video. The same can't be said with these type of always-on chips or always-on listening devices. So you have to think about the fact that there are phone manufacturers, let's use China as an example, ZTE or Huawei, that are required by Chinese law to give the Chinese government backdoor access. Now, according to Qualcomm, that shouldn't matter because all of that data stays on the chip itself. But how can I be sure of that? I don't know that I can. And I don't necessarily trust a Huawei or a ZTE to ensure that that kind of separation between the chip and what is accessible through the back door of their OS remains separated. And I know I'm picking on China here, but the same could be said for Google and their Pixel phones. They have every reason to want to gather as much information as they can on us as users. And same for Apple. So it is a lot about who you trust, but it's also about whether or not we accept what Qualcomm's saying about our privacy and security in relation to this always-on technology, that's going to be used in the proper way. And I'm not convinced it is. But I'd love to hear from you. What do you think? Is this a technology that you would be comfortable with? Actually, let me put it this way. I want you to answer this question in the comments below. Let's say that I approach you with a free phone, absolutely free. You don't have to pay a penny, but it has the always-on feature. Would you take it? All right, let's say that it has the always-on feature, but within the software it gives you the ability to turn that off. Would you take it then? That's what I want you to answer in the comments below, and start thinking right now, is the always-on camera feature something that you're comfortable with? And if not, start preparing for the day when that is a standard feature for the phones that we get whenever we upgrade to the next latest, greatest phone.